Hello students, how are you? I hope you all are fine. In previous session we have discussed about the some part of the cockroach that we have discussed in the detail about the structure. Okay, now we will start with the thorax, that is the second part. Okay, as we have seen, the body of the cockroach is divisible into three main parts: head, thorax and abdomen. Okay, so head we have seen here. Thorax is generally the chest or the rib part of the cockroach is referred as the thoracic region. Okay, and thoracic region is divided into three parts, which are those, that is prothorax, mesothorax and the metathorax. Okay, now the exoskeleton of the each segment is called sclerite. Okay, remember this, the exoskeleton in case of cockroach it is made up of chitin. Okay, so what we are calling it, chitinous type of exoskeleton, right? Now this exoskeleton consists of segments. Okay, the body is either it is divided into three main parts, but also it has the segment from the dorsal side and segment from the ventral side also. So the segments which are present from the dorsal side are referred as the tergum. Okay, the dorsal segments are called tergum and the ventral segments are called sternum. Okay, and these are joined to each other by a thin flexible articular membrane. Okay, so they are joined together with the help of thin and flexible articular membrane. Now here each thoracic segment has one pair of legs. Okay, as we have also seen in the diagram yesterday that they consist of the thoracic part, okay, which consists of three main parts, that is the prothorax, then mesothorax and metathorax, right? And these three different parts of the thorax, they consist of one pair of leg each. So here suppose there is a leg, okay, in this way, another leg will be here and third one, okay, here. It is present in the pair. So here total 6 legs are seen. Okay, so these legs can be seen on the either side. So what we can say that one pair of leg, okay, on each thoracic segment, that is called hexapoda. Hexa means 6. So they have the 6 legs. Okay, so arthropoda, arthros means jointed and poda means legs. So here hexa means 6 and poda means legs. Okay, the next, meso and metathorax also bears wings. Okay, so here in this region you can see there is a presence of the wings. Okay, so even in the metathorax also there is a presence of wings. Okay, so these wings, they can be referred as the forewings and the hind wings. Okay, so that is, see here, the mesothoracic are called as the forewings and they are forewings and called as tegmina. Okay, the name is given to the forewings is the tegmina and are opaque, dark and leathery. Okay, and cover the hind wings. Okay, sorry, and cover the hind wings. Okay, when at rest. So during the resting condition, this mesothoracic wings, they will cover the hind wing also because they are larger than the hind wings. The next, metathoracic, that is the hind wings, is membranous and used in flight. So when cockroach take the flight, at that time these metathoracic wings are used. Okay, so this is the part, thoracic part. Okay, now we'll also see the structure of leg. Okay, their parts. So you can pause the video and note down the points. Okay, now we'll see the structure of leg, so which is located in the thoracic region. Okay, So such a structure you can see the leg one. This part is referred as the coxa. Okay, this part generally in case of the knee bone we can call them. Okay, that is the patella, but here it is not patella. It is called the trochanter. Trochanter. Okay, then this part is the femur, and this part is referred as the, see, it is having certain hairs on its surface. Okay, hair like structures. And some special segmented regions are there. So these are referred as feathery. Okay, these are the feathery legs. Okay, and yes, they have the certain segments. Okay, so this part is referred as the tibia. This part is referred as tibia with tibial spines. Okay, and here the distal part consists of the structures which are called as the tarsomers. These structures, okay, these are the structures. Okay, so these are called as the teres with tarsomers, or 5 tarsomers, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 tarsomers. Okay, the next, there is a structure which is a half moon like structure called preteris. Then it consists of a pointed part areolum, okay, and this region is the claws. Okay, so this is the leg of cockroach. So you can pause the video and draw this diagram. Okay, then next part, okay, after the thorax is the abdomen. Okay, so abdomen, it is consisting of the 10 segments. Okay, so abdominal part is divided into 10 segments, both in case of male and female. Okay, so third part is the abdomen. Okay, third part is the abdomen. So abdomen, it is 10 segmented. It is 10 segmented, both or in both males and females. Okay, in both males and females. Now if you look after the structure, okay, of the abdominal part, okay, we have also discussed in the previous diagram that this is the suppose abdominal part, okay, and which was having the 10 segments, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10, like this. So these segments, okay, what these segments are called, see, from dorsal part they are called as the tergum, and from ventral part they are called as the sternum. Okay, so in case of male, what are the significant or what are the important segments? Okay, so here we will draw the segments of the male. So here you can see there is a presence of anal cerci. This is present on the 9th segment. This is the 9th one. Okay, this is the 8th segment, and this is the 7th segment. Now on the 8th segment, okay, sternum, this is the part called sternum, that is from the ventral part. Okay, and only 9 sterna are visible in case of males. Okay, only 9 sterna are visible in males. Okay, only 9 sterna are visible in males. Then it also consists of the anal styles. Okay, anal styles. Okay, then anal cerci. Okay, these structures are called anal cerci, which is located in 10th segment. Okay, which is located in 10th segment. So this is the what abdominal structure looks in the male. In case of female, okay, the abdominal structure is little different as compared to the abdominal structure in case of males. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so we'll rub this one also. In females, okay, abdomen also consists of the 10 pairs. Okay, and in females we can differentiate it like this. This is the 6th segment and this will be the 7th segment. Okay, and they consist of the anal cerci. Okay, but anal styles they are not seen in case of females. In case of males we can see there is a presence of anal styles. Okay, so that is a significant difference between both of them. Okay, and on the 7th segment, that is only 7 sterna, only 7 sterna are visible. Okay, the next, and anal cerci they are located on 10th segment, that is anal cerci. Okay, so this is the basic difference between the abdomen in case of male and abdomen in case of female cockroach. Okay, the next, let's see the differentiating points between the male and female. Okay, you can draw this and we'll move further. So what are the basic differences that can be seen in case of male and female? So here males and here females. Okay, now in males, abdomen is narrow. In males, abdomen is narrow, and in case of female, abdomen is broader. Okay, The next, the 10th segment bears one pair of anal cerci, and in case of females also there is a presence of one pair of anal cerci. On 10th segment. Okay, the next, the ninth dorsal segment bears bears anus, okay, anus, comma, male gonophore and gonophysis gonaphysis. Okay, so this is the reproductive part in case of males. Okay, the next, and are present on ninth sternum. Okay, so the dorsal segment bears anus. Okay, then male gonophore and gonophysis, okay, are present on the ventral side, that is on the ninth sternum. Okay, so from the ventral part you can see the male gonophore and the male gonophysis, while on the dorsal part you can see there is a presence of the anus. Okay, the next, in case of females, 7th, 8th, 9th segment, okay, or 9th sternum, 7th, 8th and 9th sternum forms a brood in the sense a kind of pouch like structure. Okay, brood or genital pouch. Okay, genital pouch. The next, genital pouch consists of or genital pouch contains female gonophore, okay, then spermatical pore and collateral glands. Okay, so these are the differentiating points between the male and female cockroaches. Okay, so here you can see the abdominal differences. Okay, abdomen is narrower in case of males and abdomen is broader in case of females. 10th segment bears one pair of anal cerci. Here also there is a presence of one pair of anal cerci on the 10th segment. 9th dorsal segment bears anus, and male gonophore and gonophysis, okay, are present on 9th sternum. Sternum means ventral side. Okay, here 7th, 8th and 9th sternum forms a brood. So in the ventral side, that is from the 7th, 8th and 9th segment, you can see there is a presence of pouch. Okay, that is called genital pouch, which contains female gonophore. It is also containing the spermathecal pore and collateral glands. Okay, so this is what about the differentiation between the abdominal segments in case of male and female cockroach. Now let's move to the another point, that is the anatomy. So this was about the morphological features. Okay, now we'll move to the anatomy of the cockroach, and that we'll discuss about the digestive system, then we'll discuss about the respiratory system, circulatory system and all. Okay, so you can pause the video and note down the points. Now the anatomy of cockroach. So in anatomy, that is the study of the internal structures is referred as the anatomy. Okay, so in anatomy we will be talking about the various different types of organ system and their function. Okay, so here first we are going to discuss is about the digestive system. Okay, digestive system. Now here the digestive system in case of cockroach, or whatever we call the alimentary canal, okay, consists of three regions, that is the foregut, midgut and hindgut. Okay, so the alimentary canal has three parts. Okay, that is foregut, midgut and hindgut. Okay, foregut is also referred as the stomatium, midgut is also referred as the mesenteron and hindgut is also referred as the protactium. Okay, so these are the different names given to these three parts, that is foregut, midgut and the hindgut. Now next, the foregut and hindgut, the foregut and hindgut are internally lined with cuticle. Okay, so basically when we look after the foregut and hindgut, they are internally lined with the cuticle. Okay, the next, the structure called crop, okay, is the structure, okay, for digestion and storage of food. Okay, if you look after the diagram which is given in the NCERT textbook, okay, you will come to know the foregut, midgut and hindgut parts, and also you will look after the crop, that is the part which is being used for digestion and storage of the food material, and that crop is slightly conical part. Okay, at the anterior part it is narrower and at bottom it is broader. Okay, the next, it has gizzard. As we have also discussed about the gizzard, the structure which is resembling to the jaws. Okay, so this gizzard, it is responsible for grinding the food material, right? So it is also used for or grinding, or you can also use the term masticating. Okay, so gizzard is masticating organ. Okay, it is masticating organ. Okay, the next, and this masticating organ, it is consisting of these 6 cuticular plates. 6 cuticular plates. Okay, so these 6 cuticular plates, they help in the grinding of the food material. Okay, the next, digestion takes place in the crop. Digestion takes place in crop. Okay, so digestion takes place in the crop and midgut. With the help of saliva, and enzymes from hepatic CK and midgut cells. Okay, so digestion takes place in the crop and the midgut, okay, with the help of saliva. So saliva, it is responsible for digestion of the various food substances, generally the carbohydrates, as within the saliva there is a presence of amylase, and enzymes from the hepatic CK. Hepatic in the sense, it's the structure is resembling to the liver. Okay, so here what it does, it secretes certain enzymes which are helpful in digestion of the food material. Whatever food they eat, that will be digested with the help of the enzyme secreted by the midgut cells and the hepatic CK. Okay, as well as the saliva. So this is about the digestion. Now next, you can pause the video, okay, and note down the points. Note down the points. The absorption takes place in midgut. The absorption takes place in midgut and hindgut. Okay, so absorption of food takes place in the midgut and the hindgut. Okay, that is in the form of water and minerals. Okay, so generally whatever food which has been absorbed, okay, it is in the form of water as well as the mineral. Okay, the next, hepatic CK, hepatic CK, okay, that is 8 at the junctions, 8 at the junctions of foregut and midgut, of foregut and midgut. Okay, the next, it consists of Malpighian tubules, it consists of Malpighian tubules, Malpighian tubules, which are 100 to 150 in number. Okay, at the junction of midgut and hindgut Okay, so this is what about the digestive system of the cockroach, okay, which consists of the basically foregut, midgut and hindgut. Okay, and all the process of digestion as well as absorption takes place within these parts. So let's see the diagram or the diagrammatic view to understand these terms. Okay, so let's see the diagram. You can pause the video and note down the points. So you can see the body is divided into different segments. Consists of the anal cerci, okay, these are the anal cerci, and it consists of alimentary canal which starts with the mouth over here, okay, and next to that is the pharynx. Okay, this is the pharynx. Okay, these structures are the salivary glands. Okay, the next, this pharynx will open into the esophagus. Okay, it will open into the esophagus. Okay, and this esophagus will lead into the conical part, okay, and that conical part is referred as the crop, and this crop, it is responsible for digestion and storage of food material. Okay, now at the base of the crop there is a presence of a conical structure. Okay, there is a presence of conical structure, and that conical structure is referred as the gizzard, and this gizzard is used for mastication of the food material, and to the gizzard there will be presence of the hepatic circi or hepatic cici. Okay, so there are around 100 to 150 hepatic cici are seen. Okay, hepatic cici, and this hepatic cici, they are responsible for formation of the some tubular structures. And this tubular structure also has an end. Okay, it also has an end, and at the end there will be presence of the Malpighian tubules. Okay, sorry, Malpighian tubules are 100 to 150, and around hepatic cici they are also having the certain extensions. Okay, so this is the Malpighian tubule. Okay, this Malpighian tubule opens into a narrow structure or narrow tubular structure, and which extends into larger part. Okay, okay, so this larger part is called as the colon. Okay, and here it stores the undigested food material into the rectum. Okay, so these are the certain structure. So here this part, okay, this part is the midgut. Okay, this part comes under the foregut, and this part, that is the colon part, comes under the hindgut. Okay, so the mouth is chewing and biting type. Okay, from which the food is taken will be passed, okay, from the buccal cavity into the pharynx. Within the buccal cavity there is a presence of salivary gland which partially digests the food material, and the partially digested food material will move through the esophagus into the crop, where the digestion of food will take place and the food will be stored for particular amount of time. Then it will move down, okay, into the gizzard, where the larger particles of the food are being masticated. They are broken down into smaller substances or the smaller parts. Then this hepatic cici, they also releases certain enzymes, okay, which are helpful in the digestion of food material, and the food will be passed into the midgut part, okay, where it will be where there will be absorption of the food material takes place. Okay, so there will be absorption of food material within the midgut and the hindgut. So this region is for absorption, and there is a presence of Malpighian tubule, okay, at the junction of midgut and hindgut. So there is a junction where the Malpighian tubules are seen, and these Malpighian tubules are 100 to 150. The main function of the Malpighian tubule is to do the filtration. Okay, so whatever undigested food material is there will enter into the colon, that is the part of hindgut, and this colon will store the undigested food material for a short period of time within the rectum, and after that it will be excreted outside by the anus. Okay, so this is what the digestive system of cockroach is. Okay, now next we are going to discuss about the respiratory system. Okay, so you can pause the video and draw this diagram. Next is the respiratory system. So, respiratory system is also referred as the tracheal system. Why it is called tracheal system? Because this respiration in the case of cockroach takes place through the trachea. So it is also referred as tracheal system. Okay, now let's see the respiration. It consists of who? Cockroach. Consists of, or the respiratory system in cockroach consists of a network of trachea, a network of trachea that opens through 10 pairs, that opens through 10 pairs of small openings called spiracle or spiracle. Okay, spiracle, which are present on lateral side of the body, present on lateral side of body. Okay, now as we know the structure of cockroach, it's like this. Okay, like this, right? So this is the lateral part where the small pores are present, and this small pores or the ring like structure, or they are referred as a spiracle. Okay, so these are making the tracheal system in case of cockroach, and they are present on the lateral side of the body. Its opening is regulated by sphincter. What is sphincter? That is a kind of valve, okay, which is regulating the opening of the trachea, or the opening of the, what we say, spiracles. Okay, the next, each tracheal tube internally lined by cuticle, called intima. Okay, so internally each tracheal system is lined by cuticle, which is called as the intima, which prevents prevents collapsing of tracheal tubes. Okay, so that is the function of the internal lining of cuticle, that is intima, which prevents the collapsing of the tracheal tubes. Okay, and what is the function of these tracheal tubes? They are responsible for exchange of gases from one part of the body to the another part of the body. Okay, so that is what about the respiratory system. Okay, you can pause the video and note down the points. Okay, if you have any kind of difficulty in understanding any of the term, because the terms are very new, okay, so you can text me or you can also ask in the doubt session. Okay, so you can pause the video and note down the points. We are going to move towards the next type of system, that is the circulatory system. Okay, next, that is circulatory system. Now, what is this circulatory system? See, circulatory system consists of a circulating fluid, okay, or body fluid, which will circulate throughout the body and carry the various minerals, nutrients, as well as help in the transportation of the gases. So here, circulatory system in case of cockroach is open type. That means they don't have the blood vessels, okay, to circulate the body fluid throughout the body. So what happens in them is they consist of the empty sacs. These are called as the sinuses. Okay, so blood, it is directly pumped, okay, or it has been pumped with the help of heart and being pumped onto the organs. Okay, so that is called open type of circulation. At the in kingdom Animalia also we have discussed about the open type of circulation in case of cockroach. Okay, now let's see a tubular 13 chambered segmented heart located in pericardial cavity and suspended with the help of 12 pairs of Alere muscles. Okay, so there is a presence of the 13 chambered heart, which is segmented heart, okay, and located in the pericardial cavity and suspended with the help of 12 pairs of Alere muscles. Okay, so we'll see when we'll see the structure. Okay, the next, blood vessels are poorly developed. Okay, and open into a space and open into a space that is called hemocoel. So that is a kind of cavity. Okay, hemocoel is a kind of cavity which is a blood cavity, okay, or blood filled cavity in case of cockroach. The next, and the blood, okay, and the blood in case of cockroach is called as the hemolymph, and blood is called hemolymph. Okay, and the blood is called hemolymph. The next, hemolymph is composed of colorless plasma and hemocytes. Okay, so this is what about the blood which is seen in case of the circulatory system in case of cockroach. Okay, now except last chamber, except last chamber, all other chambers have one pair of ostia, guarded with valves. Okay, so ostia in the sense that is a kind of opening which is guarded with the valve, that is the sphincter. Okay, that is the sphincter. So this is what the circulatory system is consisting of. Now, due to, I'll write here, due to peristaltic movement, okay, hemolymph moves from posterior to anterior part. Okay, from posterior to anterior part. And what is the function of this blood? The function of the blood is to transport the gases, also transport the minerals and nutrients throughout the body. Okay, so this is what about the circulatory system in case of cockroach. You can pause the video and note down this point. These points are very, very important, and you know, in every year in the NEET exam, these points, on the basis of these points the questions are prepared. Okay, so write it carefully. Okay, so pause the video and note down the points. We'll draw the structure of the circulatory system in cockroach. These are the anal styles again. Okay, and here now if you look after the structure, that is anteriorly it consists of a aorta tubular structure. Sorry. So this is the anterior aorta. Okay, and this anterior aorta, okay, it is attached to the body. Okay, it is attached to the body of cockroach with the help of alary muscles. Okay. Okay, so these are called the alary muscles. Okay, okay, so in such a way you can see. So this is a 13 chambered heart. These are the heart chambers: 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13. Okay, so in this way 13 chambers hearts are seen, and which are connected with each other with the help of alary muscles. So here chambers of heart, these are the chambers of heart. Okay, so this is what about the circulation in case of, or the circulatory system in case of the cockroach. Okay, so you can draw the, pause the video and draw the diagram. Okay, now next we are going to move towards the another type of system, that is the excretory system. Okay, another important system in the anatomy of cockroach is the excretory system. Excretory system. Now what is meant by excretion? That is, again we know that removal of the nitrogenous waste material outside the body in the form of urea, uric acid and the ammonia. Okay, so that is what called excretion. Okay, so here the excretory system in case of cockroach, consists of primary excretory organ, primary excretory organ, that is having 100 to 150, okay, that is having 100 to 150 Malpighian tubules. Okay, this is the primary excretory organ. Then accessory excretory organs, that is accessory excretory organ, that is fat body, okay, comma nephrocytes, comma uricose glands. So these are the accessory excretory organs, that is the fat bodies, nephrocytes and the uricose gland. See, uricose gland, this is a part of excretory system. Okay, the next, the Malpighian tubules, are lined by glandular ciliated cells. Okay, glandular ciliated cells which absorbs the nitrogenous waste material, okay, and convert them into uric acid. So it converts nitrogenous waste okay into uric acid, okay, which is excreted out from the hind gut. Okay, so these animals are uricotelic. Okay, so these are the uricotelic type of animals. So this is what about the excretory system. Okay, the next type of system that we are going to discuss is the nervous system. Okay, so you can pause the video and note down these points. The next, nervous system. Okay, so nervous system is very important part of the cockroach, as okay, the nervous system is associated with the sensing various types of signals. Okay, and nervous system in case of cockroach, it is divided into three main parts of the body. Okay, and one more significant type of characteristic that we'll understand now, that is it consists of series of fused segmentally arranged ganglia, segmentally arranged ganglia joined by paired longitudinal, paired longitudinal connective on ventral side, on ventral side. Okay, there are three thoracic and six abdominal ganglion. Okay, so there is a presence of three thoracic and six abdominal ganglion. Okay, so the next small part of nervous system is present in the head. Okay, so small part of nervous system is present in the head. And what is the small so the significant thing about the nervous system is that, see, entire body consisting of the nervous system. Okay, and the nervous system, generally we prefer major part of the nervous system is located in the head part, but here the body is segmentally divided. Okay, so that is the head, thorax and the abdomen. So three thoracic segments are there. Okay, and three thoracic ganglion and six abdominal ganglion, okay, are seen, and a small part of nervous system is seen in case of head. Now if we cut the head of the cockroach, that cockroach may survive up to a week. Why? It is due to the presence of the distributed nervous system. Okay, so that is about it. The next, the supraesophageal ganglia represents the brain. Okay, so the supraesophageal ganglia is representing the brain in case of cockroach. Okay, so this is what about the nervous system in case of cockroach. So you can pause the video and note down the points. The next, we'll move towards the other part, that is the sensory organs. Okay, so we'll move to the other point, that is the sensory organ. Now what kind of sensory organs are seen in case of cockroach? So it includes antennae, then eyes, then maxillary pulp, labial pulp, anal cerci. cerci. So okay, generally it includes highly developed one pair of compound eye. Okay, so why it is called compound eye? Because the functional unit of compound eye, because the functional unit of compound eye is hexagonal ommatidium. Okay, so basically it includes the highly developed one pair of compound eyes. Why they are called compound eyes? Because they consist of very small unit, around 2000 units of ommatidium. Okay, and this ommatidium, they are hexagonal in structure. So when they see any kind of object, there will be formation of 2000 small images into it. Okay, so what they are called as the compound eyes. Okay, so around 2000 ommatidium in each compound eye. So they have the one pair in the sense, two compound eyes in the sense, 4000 ommatidiums are located in the compound eyes, and these are responsible for showing mosaic vision. So they show ommatidium. Okay, they show mosaic vision. Okay, so this is what about the sensory organ. The next we'll move to the another point, that is the reproductive system. Okay, so reproductive system. Now what type of reproductive system is seen in case of cockroach? So you can pause the video and note down the points. See, maxillary pulp and the labial pulp. Okay, so maxillary and labial pulp are present near the mouth. Okay, these are also the sensory organs. Okay, now here another type of system is called as the reproductive system. Now let's see the reproductive system of the cockroach. Okay, so let's see the general characteristic feature of the reproductive system of cockroach. They are dioecious monoecious are the conditions. Monoecious in the sense when both the organs are present within the same organism, and dioecious in the sense they can show the sexual dimorphism, that is the male and female are distinct. Okay, so they are dioecious with distinct sexual dimorphism. Okay, the next, the male reproductive The male reproductive system includes a pair of testes, at the fourth to sixth segment. Okay, at fourth to sixth segment, or the sixth abdominal segment. Okay, sorry, fourth to sixth abdominal segment. Okay, so there is a presence of a pair of testes. The next, a pair of vas deferens. Now, what is vas deferens? Vas deferens is a part which collects the sperm and transmit into the that is the genital organ. Okay, so that is the vas deferens. The next, a single ejaculatory duct and gonophore. Okay, a single ejaculatory duct is seen. Okay, and there is a presence of gonophore. The next, presence of three gonapophyses. Presence of three gonapophyses, which are also referred as phallomers. Okay, so that is the three gonapophyses. The next, a pair of seminal vesicles. So basically, seminal vesicles are responsible for secretion of the semen, okay, which is acting as a nutritive substance as well as provides the enzymes. It also consists of the calcium, okay, ions. Okay, then that is the semen. The next, that produces the semen. Okay, then they have a mushroom shaped gland, a mushroom shaped gland that is in the 6th and 7th abdominal cavity, or 6th and 7th abdominal segment. Okay, the next, or the mushroom glands can be called, or mushroom shaped glands. The next point, female reproductive system. Okay, I'll write here, female reproductive system includes, okay, in female reproductive system we can see a pair of ovaries, okay, and from 2nd to 6th segment, that is the abdominal segment. Okay, so there is the presence of a pair of ovaries and a pair of oviduct. So please guys remember these segments. Okay, these segments are very very important, because when the questions are asked on the reproductive system, you supposed to answer the questions. Okay, so you have to remember that their dioecious show the distinct sexual dimorphism. The male reproductive system includes a pair of testes, okay, which is located from the 4th to 6th segment, that is abdominal segment, a pair of vas deferens, a single ejaculatory duct, and the gonophore. Then presence of 3 gonapophyses called phallomers, and a pair of seminal vesicle. Then a mushroom shaped gland, it is located in the 6th and 7th abdominal segment, while the female reproductive system consists of a pair of ovaries, which is located from the 2nd to the 6th segment. Okay, the next, a pair of oviduct is also been seen. Okay, a pair of oviduct. The next, single vagina. Okay, we have single vagina. Then 3 pairs of gonophyses, 3 pairs of gonophyses or gonapophyses. Okay, 3 pairs of gonapophyses, and 1 pair of collateral gland, and 1 pair of collateral gland. So students, this is what about the reproductive system in case of male and female. Okay, so in the for this I will provide you the picture of the diagram. Okay, so that you can understand these different parts. Okay, and remember the points. So student, this is what about the certain animals that we have studied under the structural organization in animal. Okay, that is about the earthworm and the cockroach. The frog part is not been introduced into the NEET examination. Okay, so we are not supposed to study that one right now. Okay, so here we are seen about the animal tissue. Okay, types of tissue in the animals, that is the epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscular tissue, and the neural tissue. In the epithelial tissue, we have discussed about simple epithelium and the compound epithelium. Okay, simple, that means single layered, and compound means multi-layered. Again, in the simple epithelium, we have discussed about the 3 main types on the basis of shape, that is the squamous, cuboidal, and columnar. Again, in the case of compound, again squamous, cuboidal, and columnar. And in case of cuboidal and columnar, we have discussed about the ciliated cuboidal epithelium, columnar, that is the ciliated, brush bordered, and the goblet cell also. Then we have discussed about the glands. Okay, we have discussed about the junctions, tight junction, gap junction, and adhering junctions. Later we have discussed about the glands. Glands are nothing but the collection of cells which are secretory in function. Okay, we have discussed about different types of glands or the classification of glands on various bases. Then we have discussed about the connective tissue. What is connective tissue and its types? Okay, it consists of loose connective tissue, dense, and the specialized connective tissue. In loose connective tissue, we have talked about the areolar connective tissue and the adipose connective tissue. In dense connective tissue, we have discussed about the dense regular and dense irregular. And in specialized connective tissue, we have discussed about 2 different types, that is the vascular connective tissue and the skeletal connective tissue. In vascular connective tissue, we have discussed about blood and lymph, and in skeletal connective tissue, we have discussed about bone and cartilage. And bones are of 2 types, spongy as well as compact, and cartilage are of 3 types, hyaline cartilage, fibrous cartilage, and the calcified cartilage. Okay, so we have discussed about them. Then apart from that, we have also discussed about muscular tissue. In muscular tissue, we have studied in detail about the cardiac muscle, skeletal muscle, and the smooth muscles. And in neural tissue, that is the structure of neuron and the glial cells. Then later we have discussed about the morphology of earthworm and anatomy of the earthworm. Okay, so morphology explains about the external features of the earthworm, and anatomy explains about the internal organs, study of internal organs. Same in case of cockroach, the morphology as well as the anatomy. So students, this is the end of this chapter, that is structural organization in animals. If you have any kind of difficulty in understanding any of the concept, you can contact me. Okay, thank you.